Happy Sunday morning, Boston Celtics fans, and breaking news, Sam Hauser has signed a 4-year, $45 million contract extension. First things first, congratulations to Sam Hauser. We knew this was coming. We knew this was 110% deserved. It was expected. Brad Stevens most recently saying, hey, look, the plan here is to bring everybody back. And that included Sam Hauser, who was such a pivotal piece for the Boston Celtics to win the NBA championship this last year. And Sam Hauser was making $2 million while doing that. And now with that 4-year, $45 million contract extension, he should be making about $11.5 million over the next 4 years per season. I think this is extremely well-deserved. Sam Hauser being one of the most pivotal catch-and-shoot three-point players in the NBA, and he's really elevated his game on both sides of the basketball, in my opinion. For the Celtics, we know that his defense, it really impressed me this last year. He knows how to play lockdown on multiple types of guards, and he's that type of wing that he can play on a guard. He can defend down low. He can defend off the post. He can defend big. So I'm very excited to see what Sam Hauser does and how he elevates his game in this next year. Most recently, I just listened to him on a podcast talking about, what do you think your role is going to look like for the Boston Celtics this upcoming year? And the good news about what the Celtics are doing is that everybody understands they're just doing the exact same thing as last year because it worked. They just won the NBA championship. So that's what Sam Hauser said. He's like, I think my role is going to look very similar to what it did last year. He hasn't even actually gotten back in the lab just yet. He was taking some time, taking a break from basketball, enjoying time with his wife, who's now expecting their first child later this fall. So Sam Hauser just wanted to take a break, but we know that once he gets back in the lab, he's going to start working on that defense, start working on that catch-and-shoot three-point ability, and he's going to be phenomenal for the Boston Celtics. But not to mention, this isn't a very, very expensive Boston Celtics team. I do not know how Brad Stevens does it. I truly am predicting right now there will be a 30 for 30 on Brad Stevens alone and how he crafted this Celtics team in under the amount of money that he did. So according to Adrian Wojnarowski, who did tweet out this Woj bomb earlier this morning, the Celtics' combined salary and luxury tax is projected to be the largest in league history. The Phoenix Suns currently have a combined $432 million bill. And of course, Woj started to go on in Twitter talking about what this means for the Celtics and how they're even possible to do this, because this has been my number one thing, is that they footed about a $44 million bill last year because they went over that second luxury tax apron. But if they go over it 2 consecutive seasons, it's going to have repercussions. But Adrian Wojnarowski did go on to say that adding Hauser's extension to the Celtics' 2025-2026 payroll elevates it to a projected $225 million with an additional $210 million luxury tax penalty, highest in the league, and over the second apron for the second consecutive year. So we do know this does come with some repercussions. It's going to cost some draft picks if Brad Stevens doesn't understand how to kind of make this smaller, or what they're going to have to pay, or who they're going to have to let go of, or whatever. I don't get into the business side of things. All I know is that I'm just the host of Celtics Today, and I'm here to talk about Sam Hauser. So, nonetheless, this is just one of many moves that Boston Celtics have done in the offseason. Extending Jason Tatum, making him the highest paid player in NBA history, 5 years, $314 million, which is insane. Not to mention, they have the second highest paid player in NBA history, which is Jaylen Brown, on the same roster. Derek White, he signed a 4-year contract extension, $125.9 million. They re-signed Luke Cornett. They re-signed Neemias Queta. They re-signed Xavier Tillman. And now they're extending Sam Hauser for 4 years and a $45 million contract. To keep it in perspective, Peyton Pritchard, who signed his 4-year contract extension right ahead of the 2023-24 NBA season, he'll be making about $7 million this upcoming season, then $7.78 million and onward until he's an unrestricted free agent in that 2028-29 season. So Sam Hauser now expected to make roughly about $8 million a season, a little bit more than PP. I wasn't sure if they were going to do the same kind of contract as Pritchard. I mean, obviously, they're two very different types of players. Peyton Pritchard proving to be a great two-way player as a point guard. He's a floor general. And then Sam Hauser obviously elevating his catch-and-point, three-point catch and shoot 3-point shooting ability this year and also on defense. So Sam Hauser, I think he's a great addition. I think the Celtics are not as strong if they do not have somebody like Sam Hauser on their roster, just because he plays for anybody else, he's going to be a star. He could possibly be in the starting five for a team that's maybe not competing for an NBA championship the way the Celtics are, but Sam Hauser's got a great story, played at UVA, now he's coming in here for the Boston Celtics, played for the Maine Celtics for a little while there, and now he shot 42% from downtown for the C's in the championship year. It was the fourth best among players with 400 plus attempts per ESPN. I mean, this is a top shooter in the NBA. There's no doubt about it when you look at the statistics. So I'm very excited to see what Sam Hauser is going to do here in the offseason, trying to elevate his play. And Woj went on to say that he made 179 catch-and-shoot three-pointers last season, 6th most in the NBA. And I did the math. Last week, he made 197 three-pointers last season. So clearly, he had a little bit of a rough patch there in the NBA finals, in the NBA playoffs. After round one, and after the NBA finals, that round two, round three just wasn't really his best. And that does come with a little bit of adversity when you are a catch and shoot three-pointers that you've got to be on every time your number is called. That's why they're a part of the Stay Ready group, as they coined themselves. But something that's going to be very interesting, and this is what I thought was possibly holding back the Celtics from extending Sam Hauser, was Baylor Shireman. And that's because Baylor Shireman has the kind of similar skill set to what Sam Hauser does. And he's a lot cheaper than Sam Hauser is right now. But Brad Stevens, it seems like he's a man of his word. I mean, it seems like when he's out in a press conference and he says, we want to keep this player, he finds a way to keep that player. J.D. Davison, he talked high remarks about him, that he wants him to come back. O'Shea Brissett, he wants O'Shea Brissett to come back, but he understands and he respects O'Shea Brissett wanting to go out there in NBA free agency and see what team can offer him what the Celtics may not, and that's more playing time. Same thing, Derek White. Now Baylor Shireman, he's very excited about that. I'm very excited about Baylor, but Sam Hauser, I mean, Baylor's not going to come in and he's not going to be 6th in the NBA on catch and shoot three-pointers. He's not going to be as dominant as Sam Hauser has been because he's been working for a lot longer. He's 26 years old. Baylor Shireman, he's 24. So I do believe that if you find a way to keep Shireman and Sam Hauser on the team together, I think that could be awesome. I think you can start to elevate these two guys. I wouldn't want to learn from anybody else other than Sam Hauser if I had the exact same skill set as he does. So not to mention Brad Stevens just popping off in the NBA draft, picking Shireman, picking Anton Watson. They both shined in their own respective ways during NBA Summer League. Now you're going to tie him into the bench players of Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, possibly Al Horford once Kristaps Porzingis comes back, maybe even O'Shea Brissett, Neemias Queta, Luke Cornett. I can keep going on because the Boston Celtics are running it back with the exact same team that just won them the NBA Finals. And I get it. Teams around them are starting to bulk up, starting to beef up their roster as well. But Jason Tatum said it perfectly. He said, they can do what they want because they always got to come through us. All roads lead through Boston. And I'm very excited for Sam Hauser. Going ahead, give him some love in the comment section down below. And as always, going ahead and hit that sub button for me. This is Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and Sam Hauser. You are a Boston Celtics through 2028-29 season.